boxing of the compass. Now I didn't record it. I forgot actually. But anyway, I don't think it is that complicated anyway. Now, parts of the ships you all know, all standard parts. Don't forget it. PPE we'll cover under Code of Safe Working Practices again. So in case you have got a doubt and you don't understand, we'll touch it again. C terms, in case you have got any doubts, not understanding, because this is like marine dictionary of terms. So you just read it once and get idea of most of the commonly used words. Now we come to the sea watches. Now, watch keeping on ships we will do first. Very good. Okay. So we are on. Okay. Watch keeping on the ships. Now, most important thing that you must understand is watch keeping is always there when you are at sea. Ship is never left unmanned. Always manned. Now, whether there is one person or two person is another issue. But bridge, wheelhouse must be always manned. Why? The biggest danger when something is moving is to collide with something else or run aground. Means you don't leave car unattended, and you know what happens. Once in a while we keep on hearing about it that the car had accident, driver went to sleep at the wheel. So that situation we don't want at sea, because the danger is like that collision can be very severe and ship might sink. If you sink somewhere in the middle ocean, you are not going to get any help. Somebody should be nearby, not to give you help. It is like having accident on a lonely road just to be found after few hours. It happens in other countries, not so much in India. Somehow we have a lot of traffic, but like countries like Canada and all, where there is hardly any population. What I understood was you should drive slowly, not because of any other reason, but in case you meet an accident, nobody will know it for next 4 hours and 5 hours, because there is no car passing in 4 hours. So similar situation happens at sea. So we make sure that bridge is always manned. Now who will man the bridge? Certified officer, because certified officer means person who knows appropriate actions to be taken. You just put somebody on the bridge, it is like keeping a dog on the bridge. The well-trained dog will start barking when he sees the ship. Sure, we joke about it on ships, about lookout man. Why do you need lookout man? We can keep a dog there. We joke about it. But when some ship is manned by a certified officer, he is capable of taking appropriate actions to avoid the danger. So that is very important. At sea, ships are manned by certified officers. Only certified officer can be in charge of a watch. Regardless of whatever experience one may be having, he or she cannot be in charge of a sea watch unless he or she has got the certificate. Now, certificate of competency is issued by the government, depending on which country you appear in, but it is always Ministry of Transport. So you have got different types of certificates, including watchkeeping certificate. The lowest form of deck certificate is watchkeeping certificate, which means you are allowed to keep watches, but normally used on smaller ones, not so much on bigger ships. Bigger ships want fully certified officers, not this baby certificates. Then sea watches are always 24/7 basis. That means there is not even 1 minute in the middle which is blank. It is always somebody or the other is in charge of the watch. There is no blank area, there is no gray area. Port watches are also kept 24/7 basis, because even in port we keep watches. Again, same thing, no blank area, 24/7. Watch keeping is 24/7 activity. Simple. All the time, that is our job. 24/7. You can call us watchman, you call anything, but we security bolo, ye bolo, wo bolo, 24/7 is our watch keeping. Okay, these are the standard watch keeping hours which have been used traditionally. Okay, traditionally, because we have been changing watches like this, 0 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, etc. Lot of ships have tried out some new systems which says that there must be 8 hours break, continuous break for every officer. So they came out with different system, 3 hours on, 1 hour off, then 2 hours you do, then you take 3 hours off, etc., etc. They tried it. That is because we have got new regulations on period of rest. Period of rest means this is to ensure that everyone gets sufficient rest, so that when they are on keeping watches, they shall not fall asleep and put ship in danger, ship and people in danger. Because if I go to sleep on bridge and you are sleeping, it is also your life which is at stake. Now, this is the standard system, and still ships are using it. They have experimented with different systems, but by and large they are trying to use this only because it stabilizes your sleep timings. See, what happens is one day I sleep between these hours and next day my sleeping hours change. It becomes difficult. As it is, we have got issues with the zone times and time lags. So our health is very important. So we don't try to disturb it unnecessarily. Now, certified officer, the one who is in charge of the watch, may be assisted by 1 or 2 persons for sea watch. Now, why I am using word may be? Because it is considered under good visibility conditions, that is this one. Single watch keeping, good visibility and a good sea condition, two things there. One man is good enough to keep watch during daytime. Again, during daytime, good visibility during daytime, not at night. And then there is a system on bridge, which is bridge navigation watch keeping, like this system, BNWAS. This system is such that every 15 minutes I have to reset one of the switches. Means I am just walking. There are many of them on bridge. So wherever I am, just have stretch hand and press it. That means it is reset back to 0, and it will wait for another 15 minutes for another reset. Now, if the reset doesn't happen, then it is assumed that something has gone wrong and the person is not capable on bridge. So it will trigger off alarm. Now there are 2 alarms. First, it's possible we all forget the timing. So first will be a mild bip, 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 that is audible on bridge, that you are not reset the switch. If you still don't reset it, then the general alarm will start sounding. So everybody will get the signal that something is wrong on the bridge. That is BNWAS. And at night, we always have 2 persons. Now the reason why there are 2 persons, daytime, our vision is 3-dimensional. When it is night time, period of darkness, our vision is 2-dimensional. Oh, okay, okay. Duty, but at least you are joining, man. Otherwise, earlier you were always absent. Never mind. You are late, but my all lectures are recorded and put on YouTube channel, so you can always see it again. Okay, coming back to this. Night time, we always have two persons because of, regardless of any condition. You may be having beautiful moonlight, all clear, everything, good weather, everything fine, but still you need two persons. Why? Because the vision is two-dimensional and the range of the lights of the ships that you all have done under ROR, you may see a light, that means the person is only less than 1 nautical mile away from you. So you may not have enough time always to react. That is the reason there are two persons. One watches one side, other one watches other side. That is normal. Then they keep on walking and watching 360 one way or the other. Okay? We move on to the next one. Now, what happens is, this is the standard thing, that daytime, good weather, one man is keeping watch, he has got BNWAS, so that he is setting and everything is fine. Night time, you have got two persons because of period of darkness. Now, what power duty officer has got? Duty officer, we have given him responsibility of safeguarding the ship by ensuring we don't have collisions, we don't run aground, and we don't have any accidents. Okay. So you have to give him tools. You have to give him certain freedom. So what you do, they have at liberty, they have got powers to call for extra help if required. Weather is bad, he feels something is not right, weather is bad, it's deteriorating, there is a rain. He can call any extra help. Number of people he has to decide. He or she. Okay, don't get angry, because normally what happens while talking, we can't keep on saying he or she every step. So we end up saying he or she, depends, but mostly at C will be a he. Okay. Traditionally, what happens is there is a pair, because AB is the guy. Sometimes we call him quartermaster, sometimes we call him helmsman. Fine. Helmsman is he's holding a mini certificate that is called steering certificate. Okay, so he knows how to steer the ship. So traditionally, even they are watchkeepers. So daytime they do work on deck and nighttime they keep watches, but they are traditionally watchkeepers. So one is attached to each officer and then they rotate their turn every month. That means, guy who is keeping 8 to 12 watch in, say, January, he may keep 12 to 4 watch in February and 4 to 8 watch in March. So they rotate, but the duty officers don't rotate. Third mate has got same 8 to 12. Chief officer has got 4 to 8. Second officer has got 12 to 4. They don't change, but the ABs do change watches. He basically, in addition to this guy, extra lookout men can be asked. Normally, at sea, ship is always on autopilot. If ship is on autopilot, that means this guy has got no work, so he keeps lookout man's duty. And duty officer is also keeping lookout man's duty till something happens, some action starts. If suppose ship has to be steered manually, then this person cannot be considered as a lookout man, because he is busy in steering the ship, so he cannot concentrate on other activities, which is important, one lookout. So in that case, you have got one more person whose job is to just keep lookout. Okay. Now this watchkeeping, which we have been many times, 8 to 12 third officer, 12 to 4 second officer, 4 to 8 chief officer. Now what has happened is, lot of ships which are extremely busy, like container ships at times, there is a lot of load for chief officer then. Why? Because in the port he is busy loading the ship or discharging the ship, and both the operations happen in every port. The ballasting, deballasting, lot of activities he has to do. Second officer, third officer may be keeping extra watches, with like, in ports they keep 6 on 6 of watches. That means they keep 12 hours duty every day. So, lot of these companies who needed this extra workload, who had it, so they needed extra period of rest for officers. So they added up one more watchkeeping officer. That means what happens is, you have got here chief officer, second officer, third officer. So a lot of ships have got a chief officer, second officer, third officer, and fourth officer. So fourth officer, second officer, third officer will keep watches. Chief officer will be busy only for cargo work and deck work and other related activities. But then there is another issue, because what happens, chief officer need not be having master's certificate. And suppose if he has to go for master's certificate exam, then he needs watchkeeping certificates. So the issues came up. How can you tell me I can't keep watches? I need to keep watch also. So then they decided, sometimes they put 2 second officers, sometimes 2 third officers, sometimes 2 chief officers, senior chief officer, junior chief officer. Depending on or a chief officer, first officer, second officer, third officer. This is all game of words. What you call. Depending on seniority and certification, you decide. But that extra hours are extracted from the one additional watchkeeping officer, which is already being done in companies like Maersk and all on the busy routes. They have got extra officers on board. That means employment is created. Okay, now ship's normal routine work is carried between 8 to 5. Like, daily work, like maybe plant maintenance, greasing, lubrication, cleaning, chipping, painting, if anything is there, whatever extra activities. That is between 8 to 5. That's the standard one. Now, what happens is, during this time, during daytime, most of the people are available. Most of the people are available. Why? Because this is a standard daylight. Now our bodies are tuned to daylight hours. So they are available. And when everybody is normally always alert and all, is 8 to 12. That is why normally the youngest officer, normally, but you can have surprises anyway, so I don't want to say that. 8 to 12 is given to the third officer, where generally what happens, if he's a brand new guy, then captain will go on the bridge, either chat with him, thoda baatein karo, ye karo, and encourage that guy. You have to build his confidence, the third mate. It happens. I have been through some of the guys who were keeping first watch. Okay, fine. But you build them up, no? So that is why normally 8 to 12 is done by third officer. Okay. Now you can have surprises, because I had this. Okay, the time was different, but on many ships, as a chief officer, I was the youngest person on board, and it happened on 2-3 ships continuously. I had third mate and second mates who were in late 40s, and I was 26. So all these things happen, but by and large, we are okay with it. 12 to 4 is second officer. Why? Because it is considered to be worst watch. So क्या होता है? Chief officer is ladla, because you can't hurt him. He has got a lot of work to do. So he is little bit, he has to be pampered. 8 to 12, chota bachcha hai, you pamper. And the worst thing comes to the middle guy, second officer. So he keeps 12 to 4 watches. That means when he is working, most of the people are sleeping. We do have people sleeping in the afternoon also, if they are watchkeepers. Okay. 4 to 8 watch is kept by chief officer, because additional things come in. Like chief officer is also number 2 in command. He is head of the deck department. He is in charge of maintenance as well as cargo. So he is the man normally who runs the ship. Captains, good captains, don't do anything. But that is what you are supposed to be. And I'm not saying it. My son had reported this to my wife. My son was young, the one who is captain now. He was about 5.5, 6, something like that. Less than 6 years. So he was on ship. He was all excited and all, and okay, ready. And what happens is container ship is a typical problem that till last minute work is going on. Pilot might land up little before he ever. And then my son used to be in hurry. Come on, daddy, we'll go up. And I said, wait, because I knew exactly when to go up. So first port, he did realize that doesn't move. Second port, he even pushed the captain's chair there in position and all, and they came and called me. I put your chair also there. Let's go up. So I said, wait. So nothing. He used to see me on top, with pilot me, and then I used to have a chief officer there on bridge for maneuvering because he was due for command. So I was giving him practice. Another port and all. Then my wife asked him. He was not excited to go up. And I said, why don't you go up now and all? Go with daddy and all. He gave a deadly reply to my wife. Mummy, daddy doesn't do anything. He just goes and sits there. It's Peter uncle who is doing everything. So that is where all the nasha came down. Like this is how the child sees. Captains don't do any work. Chief officers do everything. So, getting back to our chief officer, he has got a lot of work to do. And the job orders, everything to be given to bosun. That is generally around 7 o'clock. So bosun also gets his time for planning and all. 8 o'clock after breakfast, everybody starts. And end of the day, 5 o'clock, bosun comes back and reports about how job was done, progress, etc. So generally, the 4 to 8 watch works well with chief officer. If you become senior cadet, very often chief officer will be putting more responsibilities on you on this 4 to 8, and he will be paying more attention to other things unofficially. But that is how you will gain your confidence. Typical meal timings on ships, typical ones. 7:30 to 8:30 breakfast for all. Others will eat, normal day workers will eat 7:30 to 8. And then the guy, normally what happens, many ship chief officer is alone at 8 o'clock. And then if duty AB or somebody may be there anyway. So it is relatively easier, but then you find the captain joins him, chief engineer joins him and all. So 8:30 breakfast khatam. Then there is lunch between 11:30 to 12 for a second officer and anybody else who is going to keep 12 to 4 watch. Then there is a gap. We used to call it a beer gap, 12 to 12:30, where normally we used to have a beer, and then 12:30 to 1 we used to eat. Now, why it is that gap was there between 12 and 12:30? That allows cook and the catering staff also to eat food between 12 and 12:30. As well as it allows like day workers and all, like engineers in engine room and all, to come up at 12 o'clock because that is the break time, 12 to 1, have shower, change into uniforms, and then come for food. Now, evening dinner 18 to 19, normally some shifts that is 5:30 to 6:30, but that is end of the dinner. Okay, and again based on company policies, think timings may vary on the shifts. Now, one way or the other, everybody's food timing is covered. Chief officer's dinner becomes one of the issues, because if you have this timing, how chief officer will eat? So normally, third officer gets that extra load. He goes up at between 6 o'clock to 6:30, whatever time is worked out, and relieves chief officer for dinner. So half an hour he goes up. In between that half an hour, chief officer will come down, eat food, and go. Now again, there are flexibilities on this depending on the ship and the situations, but by and large, this works like this. Now, once upon a time, we used to have a bell. We used to ring the bell, and there was a pattern. Today, nobody rings the bell. Means it stopped long, long before when I was sailing. So I don't think anybody knows the existence of it. So we had like 8 bells. Then it used to start like every half an hour one stroke. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 means end of the watch. And this is how the watch keeping system used to be. Then they used to call it a dog watch, 16 to 18. Again, it doesn't mean a dog was keeping the watch. But anyway, at sea, dog is not offensive word. We like to be called old sea dog. So we like to be called dogs. Don't ask me why. So it is not offensive word at sea. Now, first watch of working day at sea is called first watch, okay? But it is also called captain's watch. It's night 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Now, again, because captains used to go and encourage third mate and all, but depends. Once upon a time, captains were allowed to certify third mate. I'm telling you something, it's not that far off either, because there was one guy with me. He was like a senior cadet actually, but on his previous ship, Panamanian ship, he worked well and all. So captain issued him a third mate's license, which was very much valid on Panamanian ships. And then over a period, this authority was removed and they took every control ashore. So that those days, like, captain's watch means captain will go on the bridge and train third mate. Now, that is more or less about the sea watches. We come back to port watches. They are essentially cargo watches. Along with cargo watch, there is a list of things what you do. You check around the ship side and a lot of other things. But they are essentially cargo watches. Or sometimes there is no cargo work, so you are doing more of a security watch. They generally, second officer, third officers keep 6 hours watches. When you become a senior cadet and you are smart, you will also get independent watch unofficially. Officially you cannot have, unofficially to boost up your confidence. Now, chief officer will always concentrate on all cargo related activities like planning, monitoring of loading, discharging, organizing things, what is required for loading, discharging. A lot of activities go on. There's a lot of planning and all is required. So chief officer concentrates on that, ballasting, deballasting, where you keep on assisting him. Then, duty officers assist chief officer, means he gives the instructions to them and they implement it. If load is too much, then chief officer may take over some job on him. Otherwise, generally, duty officers implement whatever is given to them. And you also become part and parcel of it. Now, watch keeping in port, you also have got crew, like AB, what we said, AB, quartermaster, helmsman, whatever you call him, or seaman 1. He is always there. They also work in 24-hour shift. 4 on, 8 off, 4 on, 8 off, 4 on, 8 off, like that. Now, they generally keep gangway watch, security watch, means he is stationed at the gangway. Now it happens that he also needs to go around. So, a lot of ships, what they do is they use maybe another seaman to keep gangway watch and allow AB to assist duty officer, depending on type of ship, cargo ships, and depending on types. Like container ships, there is a lot of lashing, everything is to be checked. At the same time, gangway watch has to be kept. So gangway watch may be kept by a ordinary seaman, and AB will be busy assisting duty officer to check lashings and making sure that everything is done properly. Because when you work with a couple of cranes together, like 5 cranes and 6 cranes, believe me, it is a lot of load on the duty officers, lot of load. But gangway is always manned 24/7. Always manned. There is a full security procedure that has to be followed. And you need extra manpower, you have to use it. Like some places, what happens is, if economically feasible, you have shore-based security service who will be manning the gangway. So they will take care of all the security needs, and you are free to keep your watches. Depends. Then anti-pollution watches, the bunkering operations are there, etc. That is why you can't say that this man will be always on gangway watch. No. Depending on seniority, experience, inexperience, you work out. But gangway is always manned. Fire patrols and all also are watch-keeping systems. But again, it depends on the situation, and the manpower is distributed accordingly. Always remember, watch-keeping takes priority over everything else. Now, this is additional reading, which I am quite sure you all don't like to do. But there is something more on watchkeeping on the ships in TJ House, chapter 10. So that is where we are out of watchkeeping. And then we have got a lookout. Lookout is more straightforward stuff. Simple duties. Lookout man. What is most important? Man should be sober. Man should be sober. Sober is, we always say that not drunk. Sober means not drunk. And physically fit to keep the watch. Now why? This is the rule you have done, right, in ROR. Every vessel shall at all times maintain proper lookout by sight and sound. That means person who is keeping lookout, his eyes and ears should be working. Correct? Correct. So, this is our Guru Mantra. So, lookout man is essential person, most important person on board. Where is this one? Right? I'm trying to slide show. So it's bigger screen, no? He is in charge of the observations of sea hazards, other shape, land, lookout, whatever that is other than water. If he sees something or hears something, he has to report it to the duty officer, who will investigate it further. Now, lookout man not only looks at water, his eyes are above horizon also. He sees the clouds developing, anything, he has to report, because he might realize there is a cloud development and the rain is starting there, here, everything he has to report. Now, how will he report? Sir, I see something. You will only get irritated. See something where? What? So, where and what? For that, he has to have a system. Now, what is the system? If he identifies a ship, he says, I can see a ship where 4 points on starboard bow. Fine. So he has given approximation where duty officer then looks at 4 points on starboard bow to see that ship. And bearing, he will take bearing and take rest of the action. Then suppose lookout man sees a light. Again he says, I can see one flashing light. If he is a smart guy, if a cadet is keeping lookout, he doesn't say flashing light, he says what type of flashing light. Group flash 2, so many seconds on starboard bow, 3 points. That is how, or you will give the bearing also. That is correct. Otherwise, he will say, I can see light there. He says, I can see snow there. Anything. Anything and everything has to be reported. Lookout man is also told at times, if you are going to take a star sight, and you can't be standing there looking for stars. So sometimes you tell him approximately say 6 points about so much above. If you see any stars, let me know. So lookout man will continue looking. So he looks at every possible thing, including any distress signals, anything. That is lookout man. Means there is nothing that is not covered in duty. Everything is covered. Now this is where his importance comes in, the alertness and the effectiveness of lookouts. Oh, went this way. Okay. So, one way or the other, this man is very important person for our safety. Now, since responsibility is so much, alertness, effectiveness, etc., he should be able to give uninterrupted attention to his job. I know it is very boring job. If you stand there, you're looking for something and you don't see anything. It happens for 4 hours. Normally lookout man's duty is not 4 hours. So normally lookout man's duties we go for 2 hours and or 1 hour night, and they keep on changing. We generally don't like 4 hours lookout man, extra lookout man. A regular watchkeeping guy keeping 4 hours is one issue, but it is boring. If you are on one of the long routes, at times you may not see a ship for 20 days if you are on odd route. 25 days. Possible. You are just unlucky guy that your watch, you will not see anything. But just imagine you are looking for one and you get rejections after rejections. Same thing, no? When you go on Tinder and all at times. Same thing. Rejections after rejections. So, then we have got, that is the reason we don't give him any other job. Lookout man doesn't get any other job. Lookout man doesn't wash your wings. If you want lookout man to wash your wings, then he stops lookout man's duty. Somebody else replaces. He doesn't do steering. He doesn't do anything except he keeps on looking for something. That is lookout man. Absolutely no other job. Okay. Jatin, we have to do something, you know. How stop everything. Again, I'm coming back to the same point. It is responsible duty and it has to be taken seriously. And believe me, it does become sometimes too light-hearted stuff, but you have to take it very seriously. Lookout man is not on a bridge to do chit-chatting with the duty officer, neglecting everything. Sure, you know, means when you are standing alone and you are doing, it can be a problem at times, because what happens, empty mind starts working overtime, devil's workshop. So a lot of issues come up, but those are psychological issues. As far as what we want from the job is undivided attention. These are the things he has to report. Now say I had told you everything and anything and everything. Any floating object, navigation mark, light, distress signals, land, ice, ships, then navigational features. If he finds any problems with the navigation lights, because some lights we can see, like you can bend over and see the side lights working, anything. And okay, so even because of you, I think Jatin, you must have told him. Okay. So Jatin, how did you manage to tell him to bark now only? Okay. So everything is there. If you add something, nobody will say no. They will be happy. Again, we come back. Wahi masala, gis ke. We are back. Chandan, we are doing same thing again and again. Report anything and everything. And whatever, when he is relieved, he passes on information, whatever has happened, and he passes it on. And says, okay, this is it. There is one ship I have reported. There is another ship I have reported. I have reported this. I have reported that, and so on. But again, like I said, lookout duties cannot be shared with other works. Means if you're cleaning wings, you can't be saying you're lookout man. Then you get somebody else. It is very important duty because even in piracy affected areas, you are looking. Then you add up extra lookout man. Why? Because one may not be enough to cover a 360 degrees view. So then you add up extra. But in principle, you should be able to write very comfortably at least one full scape page. Because normally question will be 5 marks. It's not going to be more than that. So that calls it for today. Okay. So tomorrow we'll start something else. We'll continue with this unless you have got any difficulties or any doubts or anything. And continue doing your tests. I have already told you, you can cheat on email IDs and take the test. I won't know who has taken test, so you can even maintain your secrecy. I will get the report, but how will I know who is Bobo? I won't know, right? Your especially PUBG names and other names, but I won't know it. So do your ROR tests just regularly, okay? And we will continue doing with this. So should I end up the meeting now? All okay? Okay.